so this is the last dosha, and it will be Kapha dosha, and we're going to be learning how to bring it back to balance. So Kaphas are the sweet, loving, gentle, kind, but a little slow peoples in our lives. So they tend to be, when they are out of balance, they tend to be very lazy, tend to put on weight very easily, and tend to be a little depressed. So the main things for Kapha dosha to bring it back to balance is variety and movement. So you want to vary their routine. You want to vary their type of work. You want to vary their type of exercise and their diets, and bring in movement to their stagnant lifestyle. So if you think of the two elements that compose the Kapha dosha, it is earth and water, and when you mix those two together, you get mud. And if you think of the qualities of mud, it is cool, it is humid, it is stagnant, it is dense and heavy. So you want exact opposite qualities of that. So you want drier foods, lighter movement, drier environments as well. And so, let me put my, there we go. I put it on not disturb so I don't get any calls. So you want variety. And so the Kaphas want to wake up before the sun. So they have to wake up the earliest of them all, and they go to bed the latest of them all, because Kapha doshas don't require too much sleep. But they are the ones that want to sleep the most. So they want to wake up as early as they can get, around 4:30 a.m., 5 o'clock. They want to practice right off of the bat, because they tend to be a little bit more lazy, like right in the morning, to practice some kind of exercise. And for them, it has to be vigorous. Kaphas need to break a sweat every single day. Well, except for one day of the week that they can rest. Obviously, that is good, but only one day. Kaphas are not supposed to rest 2 days, because then they start getting into that funk again that they tend to, because of the inertia. So you want to do some kind of high intensity workout, some more heavy weights, more heavy movement, some vinyasa yoga, some aerobic exercise every day, and you want to vary that as well, because Kaphas want to always be stuck in the same rut. So then you want to use some cleaning pranayama. Pranayama is breathing exercises, and Bastrika is the one that you forcefully exhale. That is very energizing, and forceful inhales and exhales is also very energizing, and it's good for Kaphas. Would make the Vatas very anxious. Then they want to do their morning routine. They don't need to do a lot of oiling in their bodies, because they have beautiful, plump, hydrated skin. So if they're going to use some kind of oil, maybe like some kind of very light, very little oil, but they can do dry massage. They do benefit a lot from massage, though. You want it because they tend to hold on to a lot of water. And so massage and dry brushing. Dry brushing is very, very good for Kaphas, and they're the ones that benefit the most because of their oily or moisturized skin. They can do dry brushing with more frequency, and that'll help really let go of all that holding on of retention and toxin retention and water retention. And then you want to break the fast from the night before with some warm water, lemon, lime. Kaphas can even put a little bit of honey in the water. And then they can either fast in the morning and eat an earlier lunch, or they can have a very light breakfast. They're the only doshas that can get away with just having a fruit for breakfast. You don't want to do that every day, but they can. A smoothie would be a great option for Kaphas. It's light, it gives them all the nutrients they need, and they can go. Then you want to have lunch between 12 and 12:30, having a light dinner between 7 and 8. Everything is light for the Kapha, okay? Not a lot of food. And it's funny because Kaphas don't tend to be hungry all the time. They don't have like very strong appetites like the Pittas, but they do tend to hold on to weight. So when they do eat, they can get away with 2 or 3 meals a day. That's it, no snacking. No snacking for Kaphas. But when they do eat something that's very nutritious but light, okay? Then no snacking. They can do fasts more than the other doshas. They can do mono fasts or complete fasts, water fasts, juice fasts. Obviously, it's not something that they have to do every day, okay? It's cycled. Try to get more out of your comfort zone, because they like to be on the couch, and they like to be with the same friends, and they like to do the same things. And so getting out of your comfort zone in all areas of life, exercise-wise, friends-wise, activity-wise, all that, is very good. Less TV, less sedentary activities, more movement, especially in rainy, cold days. It tends to make them very depressed. So in those days, they have to even have more movement. So Kaphas are the ones that benefit from a standing desk at their jobs, from parking farther away so they can walk, from taking the stairs, just incorporating little bouts of movement all the time just to fight off that stagnant energy from Kaphas. Be very moderate with food intake. Stop eating when they're feeling 2/3 full. And then the best oils for them would be orange peel, basil, cardamom, cinnamon, juniper, and clove. And these are also very good spices to put on their food, especially because it helps with sugar cravings. And Kaphas should avoid eating too many sweets. They can eat sweet flavor. All doshas have to have all 6 flavors. We just have to have more or less of each depending on our imbalances. So Kaphas do not want to have a lot of sweet flavors. And so they want to eat more dry foods, more warm foods, lighter foods. Spicy foods are very good because they rev up the metabolism. A lot of bitter foods because it helps with detoxifying, because they tend to hold on. Astringent foods are very good for them. So then you want no napping for Kaphas, no napping any time of the day. And then they have to find what motivates them. They are very feeling oriented as opposed to pitas that are very rational. So to motivate Kaphas, they have to find something that they like and they love and that they're passionate about in every area of their life. Study, work, exercise, and all that. And then they want to go to bed between 11 and 12. So they go to bed later, as you can see, because they need less sleep. Going back to foods, so herbs such as ginger, mint, peppermint, fennel, cinnamon aid the digestion, stimulate the metabolism, and is really beneficial for Kaphas. They can eat plenty of fruits and veggies, and they are the ones that benefit most from raw foods. But most of our veggies should be cooked, even for Kaphas, okay? Warm foods are better than cold foods for Kaphas. So ice cream is the worst Kapha food because it has dairy and it's frozen. So it's cold, it's sweet, it's heavy, and it's all that Kaphas do not need. So they want to stay away from dairy foods, all the dairy foods, because it's so mucus producing, and Kaphas tend to produce a lot of mucus. All the heavy, fatty, deep fried, oily, so avocados and coconuts are something that they should eat sparingly. They can have nuts and seeds, it's great for them, but also in moderation. Sour foods are not good for Kaphas, tends to give them a little bit of indigestion. And so I've already talked about breakfast. A smoothie would be great, or maybe just some fruit with some chia seeds on top, and some flax seeds. But they can have warm chicken, like a grilled chicken with some veggies, with some sautéed veggies, or even some raw salad. Any kind of lean protein over a bed of greens is a great food for Kaphas. I will be talking about how we can make tridoshic foods, because many households, one person is cooking for, 3, 2, 4 different people with different doshas, and ain't nobody got time for that. And I'm sure that, way back when in India, they were making one pot of food that served everybody. And so we can just modify with little spices here and there, little seasonings here and there, and just the amounts of each food. And I'll teach you how to do that later. So this was Kapha dosha. I hope that you can identify any kind of imbalances you have right now, and now you have the tools to bring them back to balance. I am always open to answer any questions that you may have.